recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special edition of Gotmark76 this week. We will be starting today's program with our main event, live from Madison Square Garden in beautiful New York City. World Wrestling Federation champion Hulk Hogan will defend his newly won heavyweight championship against former champion Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. That match will be our first contest here. We will also see a clip of last week's AWA action live from St. Paul, Minnesota, in which Jimmy Superfly Snuka took on Ron Garvin for the AWA International TV Championship. And time permitting, we will take you to NWA Worldwide as Nature Boy Ric Flair took on Terry Funk in a grudge match non-title match. Without further ado, let's head to New York City as Hulk Hogan defends the World Wrestling Federation Championship against Mr. Wonderful. And we'd like to welcome those of you joining us here on the Gotmark76 YouTube channel to beautiful New York City and Madison Square Garden. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff making his way to the ring with his manager Bobby the Brain Heenan, getting his rematch from WrestleMania, and he will challenge Hulk Hogan. And again, Mr. Wonderful coming to the ring full of confidence. I am not sure that that feeling is mutual with Bobby the Brain Heenan. And Mr. Wonderful making his way to the ring. And the fans here in Madison Square Garden giving Mr. Wonderful a mixed reaction. I think a lot of the fans here respect the talent of Mr. Wonderful, maybe not so much with the attitude or the way he goes about doing things. However, he did everything he could. He was a tale of two champions during his 1 year plus title reign. In the very early going, he took any means necessary, any shortcut he could. But along the way, somewhere halfway down, I'd say halfway, he really took honor in being World Heavyweight Champion and doing things the right way. And here he comes right now, the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion. And the fans who weren't on their feet are now, as Hulk Hogan makes his way to the ring to defend his newly won World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship. And fans, we are excited to be bringing you Main Event May. On May 6th, the AWA presents Super Clash. The following week, World Class Championship Wrestling presents Parade of Champions. The following week, the NWA presents Capital Combat. And then, of course, May 27th, Memorial Day, will be Saturday night's main event. But before major event May, next week, Gotmark76 will be presenting a live house show from the Philadelphia Civic Center, highlighted by Lex Luger challenging Ric Flair for the world title.
Introducing the challenger from Tampa, Florida, weighing in at 252 pounds, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
And the fans giving Orndorff somewhat of a positive response.
Introducing the champion from Venice Beach, California, weighing in at 302 pounds, he is the world's heavyweight champion, Hulk Hogan.
And the fans here in New York City love the Hulkster. As the introductions are made, and this will be the rematch. We are so happy again to have you joining us today on the Gotmark76 YouTube channel. And one would think that should Hulk Hogan retain the world title here against Paul Orndorff, that he has a long list of challengers waiting to knock down his door. And Hogan starts off the match with a scoop slam on Paul Orndorff and flexes to the masses here in New York City. Orndorff back to his feet and is met with an atomic drop by Hogan. Takes Orndorff down. Hogan has Orndorff up again in the third. Atomic drop down. And Hogan flexes again. The fans supporting Hulkster. Throwing Orndorff into the ropes off the rebound. Oh, Hogan misses with a clothesline. Does not. Oh, no. Orndorff catches Hogan with a hot shot across the top rope. And that's going to give Orndorff an opportunity here. And Orndorff somewhat toying with the Hulkster with a big forearm to the back. Oh, chopped Hogan against the ropes. But Hogan comes back with an open hand slap of his own. A big right hand knocks Orndorff to the mat. And Orndorff wisely rolling out of the ring. And Hogan, he goes out of the ring too. And these two men are going to battle on the floor. And this is something that Paul Orndorff, oh, and a power slam on the concrete floor. And Hulk Hogan in control. Flexing to the fans here. Orndorff needs to be careful. A double countout will result in Hulk Hogan retaining the title. Referees counts up to 4 as Orndorff rams Hogan into the ring. And Hogan firing back. Orndorff firing back. They're trading blows on the outside. Hogan comes back in. Up to 7 and Orndorff back in. And Orndorff clotheslines Hogan over the top rope. And Orndorff following him out. He knows he cannot win the title via countout. But Hogan with the upper hand and a series of big rights. And Orndorff slamming Hogan's face to the ground. That is concrete floor, fans. And Orndorff with a big shoulder block takes Hogan up and over. And Orndorff has Hogan. Oh, and throws him into the ring post. Referees counts up to 5. Orndorff again rams the side of Hogan's head into the ring post. Up to 7. Orndorff throws Hogan back into the ring. And Orndorff working the knee. And now again working the leg of Hulk Hogan is Paul Orndorff. Orndorff whipping Hogan into the turnbuckle. Oh, and Hogan catches Orndorff with an elbow and a shoulder block. Takes Orndorff down, but Bobby Heenan distracting Hulk Hogan. We saw this many times. Oh, and a beautiful full Nelson slam by Paul Orndorff, and Hogan's in trouble. Orndorff throws Hogan into the turnbuckle. And Orndorff turning over Hogan. And a kick to the midsection, and now Hogan in trouble. Orndorff picks him up. Here comes outside backbreaker. And Orndorff with a backbreaker on Hogan once and twice on the back of Hulk Hogan. And Paul Orndorff in control. Goes for the cover. Hogan's in trouble. 1, 2, and oh, 3. No. Orndorff questioning the count. I thought it was 3 myself. But Hogan did kick out. And Orndorff wasting time flexing. but setting up Hogan for the pile driver. Up and down, Hogan in trouble. Could we have a new champion again? Orndorff going for the cover. I believe he's dragging Hogan to the center of the ring. Goes for the cover, and this could be a new champion. 1, 2, and 3. No! Hogan kicks out. And Orndorff can't believe it, challenging the referee's call. But Hogan back up to his feet, and a big right hand stuns Orndorff. How is Hogan back up? Bobby Heenan distracts Hogan again. Orndorff from behind. Scorpion death drop on Hogan. But Orndorff in trouble. Hogan firing back. Big shoulder block by Hogan. And Orndorff taken from the ring corner. Dragged out, landing on his back. Hogan in control, throws Orndorff into the ropes. And a big boot by Hogan. Bobby Heenan up on the apron. Distracting the referee. Hogan drops a leg. Goes for the cover. Referee in position, and again. Bobby Heenan up on the apron. You gotta be kidding me. Hogan had him pinned. Hogan had Orndorff pinned. And Heenan distracted the referee. Oh, and Orndorff kicking Hogan away. What a back and forth contest where Bobby Heenan has affected the match thus far. And Orndorff letting Hogan get counted out. That's not wise, but maybe he needs a break too, as Hogan getting back to his feet. But that breaks the count. So wisely by Orndorff to get Hogan, breaking the count. And these two men have spent just as much time on the outside as they have it inside the ring. And a big clothesline by Orndorff takes Hogan down. Oh, and Hogan reversing a slam on the outside. Referee's up to 7, but Hogan again breaks the count, and that was wise for Hulk Hogan. And they are exchanging blows. Hogan, with a big right hand, takes Orndorff down and flexes again. And the referee's count is up to 5. But Hogan broke the count that time. I don't know if that makes much sense. And Hogan charging and takes Orndorff down. And Orndorff back in the ring. Hogan on the outside. Orndorff needs to be careful to avoid a countout. And now Orndorff has Hogan slams him down to the mat. And now Orndorff setting up Hogan. What can he have? Going for a slam. Hogan blocks it. Hogan off the ropes. Drops another leg. Goes for the cover. Referee counts 1, 2, and no! A kick out by Orndorff. Orndorff kicked out. Now the first time, Bobby Heenan distracted the referee. This time, Orndorff kicked out. Hogan goes for the cover again. 1, 2, and no! Orndorff kicked out again. Hogan on top, but he kicked out again. I didn't think Hogan was going to get him. Orndorff kicked out the first 2 times, but this is the match that we thought we were going to get at WrestleMania. And a big right hand by Hogan. Another right hand. Orndorff in trouble. Oh, and Orndorff with an elbow. Shoulder block takedown. Hogan's in trouble. Goes for the cover. Orndorff with his feet on the ropes. And Hogan kicked out at 1. And Hogan with a shoulder block. Back and forth here in Madison Square Garden. And Hogan with an elbow at the second turnbuckle and flexes to the fans here in Madison Square Garden. Hogan picks up Orndorff, and a power slam down. And another leg drop. Orndorff in trouble. Hogan, but Orndorff makes it to the ropes. That is 3 leg drops that Orndorff has somehow gotten out of. Hogan drops an elbow. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, and no, Orndorff kicks out. Hogan on the outside. He knocks into Heenan. Maybe he thought Bobby Heenan was going to distract the referee again. But that allowed Orndorff to get control. Orndorff with a scoop slam down goes Hogan. And now stomping away is Orndorff. Orndorff has Hogan up again. Into another power slam. Down goes Hogan. Orndorff goes for the cover, but Hogan makes it to the ropes. A knee to the back by Orndorff. And Orndorff lining up Hogan, drops the knee, and Hogan's been busted open. That knee drop busted open Hogan, but Hogan fighting back with a knee, a big right hand, another right hand, and the third one, and now Orndorff is busted open. These 2 men spilling the blood here in New York City. Hogan picks up Orndorff into the turnbuckles and throws Orndorff out with a hip toss. Orndorff in trouble. Hogan throws Orndorff into the turnbuckle again. A reversal by Orndorff and a big right hand. Rights, lefts, rights, and a hip toss of his own, and Hogan's in trouble. Orndorff setting up Hogan. Could it be another pile driver? He has Hogan in position. Up goes Hogan. And down with a pile driver. New champion crowned. Here's a replay of the devastating pile driver. Goes for the cover. New champion. Referee counts 1, 2, and no again. Hogan kicks out. Do not ask me how, but Hulk Hogan is kicked out of the pile driver again and off the ropes, and Hogan with a little bit of a stalemate, but Orndorff firing back. Hogan they are both a bloody mess. And a big clothesline by Hogan takes Orndorff down. This is the match we thought we would see at WrestleMania as Hogan fires away with the right hand on Orndorff. Orndorff is bleeding profusely. Hogan has really opened up Orndorff. That blood is spilled all over the chest of Mr. Wonderful. Again, Hogan with a series of right hands, really busting open Paul Orndorff. He's a bloody mess. Hogan picks him up with a big boot. Has Orndorff into the big boot, drags him, goes for the cover. Now Hogan's trying to cheat with his feet on the ropes too. And no! Orndorff kicks out. Hogan taking a page out of the Bobby Heenan family playbook, but to no avail as Orndorff kicked out, and Orndorff a little lightheaded and groggy from bleeding profusely. Hogan blocked the punch by Orndorff, gets back into the ring, but Orndorff with the fireman's carry. Hogan in trouble. Orndorff picks up Hogan. He has him set up for another power slam and nails it. Bobby Heenan cheering in the background. He wants Mr. Wonderful, of course, to become champion again. Hogan blocked it. Looked like Orndorff was going to go for another pile driver. But Orndorff with a going shoulder block by Hogan takes Orndorff down. Hogan now picks up Orndorff into the ropes and a big boot. Hogan lining up Orndorff for a leg drop, but I think Hogan is too close to the ropes. Or Orndorff, rather. But Orndorff with a kick to the midsection. Hogan now backing away. And the shoulder block by Orndorff takes Hogan down. Back and forth here. This is the WrestleMania main event we expected. Orndorff on top. Referee counts 1, 2, and a kick out of 2. This is an amazing match, and we thank you for tuning in. Arm drag takeover by Hogan. And again, Bobby Heenan distracting Hogan at ringside, allowing Orndorff to get from behind. Has Hogan. Oh, and a bone-to-back slam by Orndorff. This could be the beginning of the end. Orndorff with a high knee lift takes Hogan down. Bobby Heenan lows at the ringside. And Hogan rolls out to the ring. And Orndorff needs to be careful that Hogan doesn't get counted out here. Orndorff following Hogan out to the floor. That's going to break the count. And now Hogan with a series of right hands. He rolls back into the ring. And a big clothesline by Hogan. Orndorff goes down, drops the leg again. Hogan drops the leg again. And there's a replay. Hogan goes for the cover. That has to be it. Referee count, no, but Bobby Heenan again, distracting the referee. Bobby Heenan has saved Orndorff from loss so many times in this contest, I've lost count. And a big clothesline by Orndorff takes Hogan down. If Mr. Wonderful wins the title, he has Bobby Heenan to thank for it. Throws Hogan into the turnbuckle. And Orndorff firing away with a big right hand. Going for a shoulder block, blocked by Hogan. Hogan throws Orndorff blocks it with a kick. Back and forth action. Hogan misses wildly with a clothesline, does not miss with that shoulder block. Orndorff goes down. And now Hogan picks up and slams Orndorff down to the mat. Hogan's getting tired, he can barely move. Off the ropes, and another leg. He goes for the cover as this in 1, 2, and 3. Ladies and gentlemen, Hulk Hogan has successfully defended the World Heavyweight title against Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. What a match! This is an early match of the year candidate, folks. Back and forth action, both men bleeding profusely. This was not the match that they had at WrestleMania. This was an all-out war. And Hulk Hogan came out on top. And if I'm Paul Orndorff, I am not holding my head low. I'm holding it high. He did everything he could, but Hulk Hogan was just too much for him tonight in Madison Square Garden. And I do not know what's next for either of these competitors. I don't know if Orndorff will receive another title match. And I don't know if Hulk Hogan's next competitor is somebody other than Paul Orndorff. But what I do know is that we were witness to history here tonight as Hulk Hogan successfully defended the title. And that was the match of the year candidate right there. And there he is, you're still your World Heavyweight Champion, Hulk Hogan. And fans, we have much more Gotmark76 this week coming your way. Ric Flair and Terry Funk, as well as Ron Garvin and Jimmy Snuka. Don't go away, we'll be right back after this quick timeout. And fans, what a match that was! Hulk Hogan retained the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship in a valiant effort by Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. I give him all the credit in the world for kicking out of multiple leg drops by Hulk Hogan, but Hulk Hogan proved to be too much, and he is still the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion. We are being told that after both men get medical attention, there will be interviews from both Hulk Hogan and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. That will be at the end of today's show. But we aren't done yet. Let's take you back to last week in St. Paul, Minnesota, as Jimmy Superfly Snuka took on Ron Garvin for the AWA International Television title. This match will be joined in progress.
winner and new AWA International Television Champion, Jimmy Snuka.
And there you have it, Jimmy Superfly Snuka defeating Ron Garvin for the AWA International Television Championship. However, Jimmy Snuka will not have long to celebrate, as just a couple weeks down the road, May 6th, here on the Gotmark76 YouTube channel, Super Clash will take place, and Jimmy Snuka will defend his newly won television title against Ron Garvin, and Wahoo McDaniel, and the Raging Bull Manny Fernandez. That's right, a 4-corner elimination match for the AWA TV title on May 6th, part of the major event May on the Gotmark76 YouTube channel. Heading over to the National Wrestling Alliance, it is no secret that the Total Package Lex Luger is hot on the trail of Nature Boy Ric Flair. The Total Package is not a member of the JTEX Corporation, but has been working closely with JTEX and Gary Hart. Terry Funk, the Great Muta, and Buzz Sawyer have attacked Nature Boy Ric Flair on many occasions, and Ric Flair is looking to get a measure of revenge as he steps in the ring with Terry Funk in this non-title grudge match. And away we go as Nature Boy Ric Flair and Terry Funk will go at it. There is no love lost between these two men as Terry Funk, as part of the JTEX Corporation, has attacked Ric Flair on several occasions. And a collar and elbow tie-up armbar reversal by Funk, working over Ric Flair. So Flair insisted he gets his hands on Terry Funk. Here we are. This is a non-title grudge match, so if Terry Funk were to defeat Ric Flair, one would imagine that Terry Funk will climb higher in the rankings. But I think it's more or less just a match to have each of these men get their hands on the other. The backdrop by Flair takes Funk up and over. And there's that chop by Ric Flair. You can hear it a mile away. But for right now, at the Cobb County Civic Center, the fans, and a backdrop by Funk takes Flair up and over. And a big right hand knocks Flair to the mat. Terry Funk will be receiving an NWA World Television title match next week in Philadelphia at the Civic Center. Also on that card, Nature Boy Ric Flair defends the NWA World title against the Total Package Lex Luger. The Superpowers, who were in action here last week, will defend their World Tag Team titles in a rematch against the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors. Plus much, much more, including the Fabulous Freebirds, Dr. Death Steve Williams as Flair woos, and Cactus Jack Manson. So back into the ring goes Flair. Funk charges over. Flair takes down the referee. And one can't imagine he did that by accident or on purpose, but Flair grabbing a chair. Maybe he did do it on purpose. Has a chair for a measure of revenge on Funk and nails him with a chair. The referee getting back up, but Flair wisely goes for the cover. 2, and a kick out of 2 by Funk. The dirtiest player in the game, who I thought inadvertently knocked down the referee, but he clearly did it on purpose. The referee did not disqualify him. Maybe he thought it was an accident. And Flair got a steel chair from under the ring and nailed Funk with it prior to the referee getting back up. You do not become the dirtiest player in the game without doing tactics such as that. And Flair picks up Funk, but Funk reverses it with a kick to the midsection and charges with an elbow, and Flair goes down. Lex Luger has been hot on the heels of Ric Flair, and the JTEX Corporation has been involved. Now, What I find semi-odd here is that Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson have been feuding with the Great Muta and Buzz Sawyer, the other members of JTEX Corporation, yet there has been no official reunion, I guess, or there has not been an official announcement that the Four Horsemen are back together. If you recall, last summer during the Great American Bash Tour, the Four Horsemen, they imploded. And Tully and Arn took several months off, returning here to the NWA in the beginning of the year, January 1st to be exact, as Flair chops down Terry Funk multiple times. Of course, that was all due to Barry Windham. Now, Barry Windham finds himself in a blood feud with Flying Brian Pillman. So a lot going on here in the NWA. Up and over goes Flair. And I have a hard time believing that the Four Horsemen will be reuniting with Barry Windham and Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, and Ric Flair all over the place. But three of the Four Horsemen find themselves in a feud with JTEX Corporation, and now Funk allowing Flair to get back to his feet. But Flair with a big right hand. Oh, and a chop reels Funk against the ropes. And a forearm to the back, another forearm to the back, and Funk is in a world of hurt. Drops the elbow by Flair. Flair picks up Funk. He's in control. And an underhook suplex. Up and over goes Terry Funk. Major event May is coming up. And the third week of May, May 20th, Capital Combat. The return of RoboCop. That's right. RoboCop will be on hand to eliminate members of JTEX or Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, for that matter, from interfering in the world title match between Nature Boy Ric Flair and Lex Luger. Of course, regardless of who is the champion, that match will still continue, as Lex Luger will have that opportunity next week here on Gotmark76 live from the Philadelphia Civic Center, as Flair gets out of that maneuver by Funk. So regardless of who wins the world title match next week in Philadelphia, Capital Combat will be for the world title between Ric Flair and Lex Luger. And now Flair setting up for Funk. Could it be it is? He woos and goes for the figure four, but Funk is close to the ropes. Can Funk escape? He's trying to turn it over, and he makes it to the ropes. And Flair has to break the hold. Flair picks up Funk. Throws Funk into the turnbuckle, charges, follows it with a clothesline, and down goes Funk. Flair going for the cover. Referee counts 1, 2, and a kick out of 2 by Terry Funk. And Flair can't believe it. But it's going to take more than a clothesline in the corner to put away Terry Funk. And a big chop by Flair, another chop by Flair. Sends Funk reeling. And, oh, Funk backing up into that third chop by Flair. A big forearm misses. And Terry Funk got riled up. And now Funk has Flair. Throws him into the turnbuckle. Chest first. And he's going to charge with a clothesline. And that knocks Flair's face into that top turnbuckle. And now Funk setting up Flair. Could it be the drop toe hold? No, Flair blocks it. And a big elbow to the back of the head. Inside cradle by Flair. He surprised Funk. Goes 1, 2, and a kick out by Funk at 2. And Flair on top has Funk into the ropes. And a big clothesline. No, a stun gun by Terry Funk. Flair was charging with a clothesline. He telegraphed it. And Funk caught him and hit him with a hot shot. Goes for the cover 1. And a kick out of 1 by Flair. A back and forth contest here on NWA Worldwide Wrestling. Another inside cradle by Flair, trying to surprise Funk. And Funk makes it to the ropes. Oh, and an arm drag takeover by Funk. Flair chopping Funk. Chops him down again. And Flair Flair setting up Funk. Could it be that figure four again? He takes Funk down. Woos to the crowd. And here comes the figure four. Flair has it locked in. And again, Funk makes it to the ropes. That is 2 times now in this contest that Funk has made it to the ropes. Oh, Funk charged and nailed him with an elbow. And Funk, big right hand, and Flair's in trouble. And Funk is clearly in control and bends over, and Flair with an inside cradle again. 1, 2, and 3. And this time Flair with the inside cradle gets him. Flair had tried that multiple times before in the match, and Funk was able to kick out, but this time Funk thought he was in control, and Flair grabbed him and rolled him up in a small package. And your winner, Nature Boy Ric Flair. And here's some highlights from earlier in the contest. Flair had Funk in the figure four, and Funk got out of it each and every time by getting to the ropes. But it was when Funk thought he was in control that Flair rolled him up with that small package. And there is your winner, Nature Boy Ric Flair. Fans, we thank you for tuning in to Gotmark76. We will see you next time in Philadelphia at the Civic Center. And Nature Boy Ric Flair getting a measure of revenge against Terry Funk with an inside cradle as Terry Funk was in control. Well, fans, we promised at the top of the program that we would hear from both Hulk Hogan and Mr. Wonderful after they both received medical attention after their grueling match at the top of the program. Let's take it away to Mean Gene Okerlund, who had an opportunity to speak with Hulk Hogan and then Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.